Hey, what's up guys? John here. Dallas, Texas is now considered to implement policies very similar in Canada. They're saying that we need to implement a restriction on house flippers and real estate investors in Texas because it works so well in Canada. Now, what I'm very concerned about right now is what's happening in places like California where they're talking about this house flipping ban and all of these new packages, all of these new bills that are happening in New York. I'm very concerned that this is going to follow in places like Texas and places like Florida. And we're going to start to see these states bleed in, and we're going to see all of North America become a lot more like Canada. Now, what I think is very unique here, very fascinating, is that they're saying that North Texas has 22% home price appreciation inside of 1 year, and it's because of these greedy investors. That's why. It's not because real inflation might be 20 or 30%, and investors sitting on $100,000, $200,000 realize, hey, next year it's only going to be worth, 75 or 150. That's what it's going to be worth. So I might as well go out there and buy something. I need to invest. I need to borrow money at 5% interest rate, buy a hard real asset such as a farm, a condo, a house, buy something real because this dollar is not real. It's backed by nothing and it likely means nothing. So I'm going to go out there and buy something. Plus, I'm going to buy in a place that has no income tax, buy in a place that maybe it's a little bit more conducive for my lifestyle and better for my family. But that's where I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to do. And so now a councilwoman in Texas is now pushing for this new proposal to ban real estate investors. They say it's going to plunge. These real estate investors are plunging the economy. Plunge means to bring it down, right? And so what is actually happening? If real estate investors are bringing up property prices, that would mean tax revenue is increasing, meaning that the state would benefit financially from this. Now, when you're plunging an economy, you would do a couple things. One is that you put price controls in. Price controls is very similar to what they're considering to do right now, which is to limit the available pool of buyers that would be able to go out there and purchase these properties. Second, as interest rates go up, less people are going to be able to qualify for loans. And if less people can qualify for loans, then there's going to be more need to bring out more of these types of, programs for betterment of society, of course. Now, what I think is pretty crazy here is that they ban the entire situation on just REITs and real estate investors, but yet they do nothing when China wants to come in to America and buy 100,000 acres, buy large infrastructure, invest heavily into our schools and universities, and invest in the media, and buy up a lot of America. That's fine. That's okay. That's good. But if a small mom and pop investor or REIT or any of these companies want to do something, that must be stopped. And do you think this is going to stop BlackRock or Blackstone, one of these large corporations, these large private equity firms from running out there buying up entire towns? I don't think so. I think that this is the first step in Texas in a direction that's going to be very California. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. Dallas considers restrictions on real estate investors. This came out yesterday. As the Texas real estate market explodes, the city of Dallas is weighing new restrictions on real estate investors. The proposed legislation comes in the midst of alleged exploitation of home sales by REITs and other single-family investors. According to this media outlet, Texas' fast-climbing home prices are heavily impacted home buyers, though demand has yet to reach a ceiling. Many home buyers are being priced out of the market by investors. Median home prices in North Texas jumped 22% year over year in March. Dwindling supply has also wreaked havoc on regional market. North Texas has only 767 new listings hit the market in March, down 93% from March in 2021. Are we working on a bigger policy regarding the scourge of investment buyers? Are we working on a bigger policy on the scourge of investment buyers? The fact that they think that they have this level of power where they can go in there and essentially restrict capitalism. Imagine you work your whole life in Texas or wherever, and you move to Texas and you buy a property. 20, 30 years worth of work for you to have the money for the down payment or, to purchase it outright, whatever it is, to go purchase this property. And they tell you, okay, we're going to limit the availability of buyers, the pool of buyers that will buy these properties. And we're going to, make things more affordable, essentially dwindling your nest egg. They're bringing down your nest egg. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to say, we should let the American dream die of home ownership. I think everyone should have an option to buy a property. There's no doubt about it. But do you think the option is to print so much money and to do what they're doing, which is essentially eroding the middle class from within? That's what they're doing, and they're blaming capitalism as the solution and then repackaging this new solution as one that's going to strip away opportunities from hard-working Americans. That's essentially the problem that I have. I think everyone should be able to go out there and buy a house, no doubt about it. But not like this. I don't think this is the right answer. No way. It's across the country where individuals are no longer buying homes, but REITs are. We're seeing this happen all across the country. Different policies that are very, similar. For example, California, they had a bill in March of this year where they wanted to put on a 25% tax for anyone that purchases a property and sells it within a couple of years. Now, let me give you an example of what this would look like. Let's say you moved to California, you purchased a property, life changed, you wanted to sell the property. There's a $150,000 net gain or gross gain on the property, right? After you paid off your commissions and paid, closing costs and everything, there's a $150,000 gain on the property. And then you pay short-term capital gains, state and federal taxes in this new 25% tax to the state of California. Your net gain at the end, if this was an 8-month hold, and let's say you worked on this property for 8 months and you worked 40 hours a week on the property, hypothetically you're a house flipper, $20 per hour is what you would actually make at the end, because they would take almost 70%, almost 72% of the actual gain from the property would go straight to the government. 72%, right? It's concerning. It's very concerning. And in New York, they're pushing $100 billion in, social spending packages, doing very similar things in California. This is what's happening. This is what's going to bleed over, is going to be these social spending packages and these new packages that are going to be for society. That's what's essentially going to be coming in, because as this continues, inflation gets out of control and interest rates rise, people are going to afford less and less, and they're going to demand more and more from a solution. It's concerning, but I'm curious. What do you think? Yeah, that's my opinion. Drop yours below. Subscribe here. Consider subbing on my second channel. I will leave the links down below. Also, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, all the links in the banner. Catch you guys later.